No, you overreacting as usual, Diamond.
Oh, I'm overreacting? No, you tripping. How am I supposed to watch you when you keep trying to leave the club all the time?
Watch me.
During the argument, you can clearly see a woman in an orange dress on cell phone video with a gun in her hand. Then she raised the gun up, pointing it.
A woman was shot and killed last night, and police say that an argument with a neighbor set the whole thing off. We're still working to get more information from Lauderdale police, but we know right now that officers were called out to the Sunny Lake apartment complex just before 10:30 last night. The victim had already died from her injury. Police say everybody involved has been located and accounted for, but they're still asking for anyone with information about this shooting to please give them a call.
Christmas night is usually a time when things finally slow down. The food is gone, the music fades, people start heading inside, ready to rest after a long day of celebrating. Most families are settling in, grateful the holiday went well. But for one apartment complex in Lauderhill, Florida, Christmas night did not end in peace. It ended with shouting, it ended with gunfire, and it ended with a woman losing her life in the middle of a parking lot. This is the story of Octavia Stewart and how a dispute that should have never gone this far turned deadly. Before her name was mentioned in police reports and news headlines, Octavia Stewart was a regular person living a real life, just like so many others. She was 36 years old. She was a mother. She was a wife. She was a sister and a friend. She was a business owner. Neighbors at the Sunny Lake Apartments said Octavia had lived there with her daughter for several years. They described her as friendly, loving, and devoted to her role as a mother. On December 25th, the Sunny Lake Apartments looked like many other places on Christmas Day. People were home, guests were visiting, music was playing, food was being shared. Some gatherings spilled outside into the parking lot. However, as the day went on, that relaxed holiday atmosphere did not last for everyone. Neighbors said tension began building early in the day after an argument broke out between a woman and a man over a parking space, loud music, and other issues. According to residents, the same two people continued to argue on and off throughout the day, and even when things seemed to cool down briefly, the frustration never completely went away. By around 10:30 that night, neighbors said the dispute erupted again in the parking lot. Surveillance and ring camera footage from the area captured the dispute. The footage shows a heated confrontation in the parking lot with multiple people gathered as voices rise and tempers flare. In the middle of the argument, a woman is seen holding a gun, waving it as she continues to argue, and at one point pointing it towards someone nearby. The tension in the video is thick, and it is clear the situation is spiraling out of control. Then, in a matter of seconds, a man steps forward, pulls out his own gun, and fires. The sound of gunshots sends everyone running in panic, turning what began as an argument into a moment of irreversible tragedy. Officers were called to the scene, and when they arrived, they found a woman suffering from a gunshot wound in the parking lot. Despite emergency efforts, she was pronounced dead at the scene. She was identified as Octavia Stewart.
During the argument, you can clearly see a woman in an orange dress on cell phone video with a gun in her hand. Then she raised the gun up, pointing it. We paused the video because it's too graphic. You then see a man shoot her as people screamed.
In reference to someone that was suffering from a gunshot wound to the head, the caller is a passerby.
Neighbors say the argument between people at two apartments had started over loud music and parking. They say the tension had been boiling for more than a day.
It's been the talk all day of the Sunny Lakes apartment complex in the 2200 block of Northwest 56th Avenue. A woman was fatally shot here in this parking lot. While neighbors did not want to go on camera, they tell me a woman and a man had been arguing Christmas Day. They say it appears that it was over a parking spot. Police say about 10:30 last night, the argument took a deadly turn. The woman was fatally shot. I spoke with the woman's wife and sister. Both were too distraught to go on camera. Police tell us everyone who's involved is accounted for. They are not looking for anyone and called this an isolated incident.
The man who fired the fatal shot has not been publicly identified, but police said he was visiting family at the apartment complex for the holidays. Authorities stated that everyone involved in the incident has been located and accounted for, and they are not searching for anyone. Police described the shooting as an isolated incident and said there is no ongoing threat to the public. Still, for the people who live there, that reassurance has done little to calm their nerves. Many residents told reporters they are shaken, traumatized, and worried about retaliation. For them, this did not feel isolated. It felt personal. It happened in the place where they park their cars, walk their children, and celebrate holidays. On social media, the shooting quickly sparked intense and divided reactions. Many commenters focused on the video, pointing out that Octavia was seen holding and pointing a gun during the argument, and some said this may explain why the situation escalated the way it did. Others shared their belief that the shooting appeared to be self-defense, while some emphasized that a gun should never be pulled out unless someone is prepared for the consequences. At the same time, many people expressed deep grief and heartbreak, offering condolences to Octavia's family and struggling to understand how a disagreement could end in such a tragic loss of life. As of today, no arrests have been made. Investigators say the case will now be reviewed by the state attorney's office, which will determine whether charges will be filed. The investigation remains ongoing. Behind the headlines and surveillance footage is a family trying to survive the sudden loss of someone they loved deeply. Octavia's sister shared a heartbreaking message that captured the depth of that loss. She wrote, "Dear sister, I don't know how to say goodbye to you, and I don't think I ever really wanted to learn how. You were such an amazing person, and the world feels different without you in it. Thank you for the memories we shared, the big ones and the small ones. Thank you for the moments you made me laugh, the times you understood me without words, and even the moments we didn't agree, because they were still ours. I will always carry those with me. I wish I had more time with you. There are still things I want to tell you, and moments I wish we could have shared. I hope you knew how much you meant to me, and how deeply you are loved. Even though you're gone, you will always be my sister. I see you in my memories, in the things that remind me of you, and in my heart. I promise I won't forget you, and I'll keep going while holding on to the love we shared. This isn't a goodbye forever. It's a goodbye for now. Rest peacefully. I love you." Friends echoed that pain. One longtime friend, Naomi, wrote in anguish that there was no future without her best friend. She spoke about 20 years of sisterhood, plans for 2026, Mardi Gras trips, and dreams of buying a house together. Another friend shared that the holidays would never be the same again, still unable to accept that the last time she saw Octavia would truly be the last. Neighbors described her as friendly, loving, and devoted to her role as a mother. She was not someone known for violence. She was someone known for showing up, for living her life, and for being present in her community. Now, her name is attached to a tragedy that unfolded in seconds but will be felt for a lifetime. In the end, what remains is the loss of a life that never should have ended in a parking lot on Christmas night. Octavia Stewart was more than the argument that preceded her death, and far more than the final moments captured on video. She was a mother whose absence will be felt every single day, a loved one whose voice is now missing from family conversations, and a familiar presence in a community that will never feel the same again. Her loss is carried in quiet moments, in empty spaces, and in the future plans that were never given the chance to unfold. At the heart of this tragedy was a dispute that never should have reached this point. What began as a disagreement between neighbors slowly escalated over the course of the day, fueled by frustration, tension, and unresolved conflict. Instead of being defused or walked away from, the argument continued until it reached a breaking point, showing how quickly everyday disputes can spiral when emotions run high and cooler heads do not prevail. One moment of escalation was all it took to turn a holiday into a nightmare. For those who knew and loved Octavia, the pain is not tied to headlines, investigations, or online debates. It lives in the routines that no longer feel complete, in the holidays that will never be the same, and in the reality of moving forward without someone who should still be here. As her family and friends continue to grieve and wait for answers, Octavia's story stands as a heartbreaking reminder of how fragile life can be, how permanent the consequences of violence are, and how one unresolved dispute can change countless lives forever.